What's up, Indigo Clique and Ubuntu Liberation Movement? I'm DMike the Young Mystic. I'm one of the two regional coordinators here in Kansas for the Ubuntu Liberation Movement and co-founder of the One Small Gathering initiative here in Kansas City. I'm here at Soul Ascension Estate, and I just have a couple of real quick updates as well as an opportunity I wanted to talk to you about for you to immediately jump in and start becoming a part of your own liberation and your own freedom. And I'll talk to you about that a little bit later in this video. But first of all, I wanted to say thank you to all our new members. As I said in one of my posts earlier, I'm running out of metaphors to talk about how quickly we are expanding, and to the old members as well. Even though we've only been going for a couple of months now, but it just shows the rate at which we're going. It just shows that we're ready for this. And I just really want to thank all of the members who are sharing this group and inviting all of your friends into the Facebook group who you think would be resonant. I mean, literally almost every other day I'm picking up my phone and seeing the notifications that I have 25 new members all invited by the same person, and I think that's great. And it's really amazing the involvement that we're getting with the new members. I mean, we are just jumping right in and taking control because there is no prep time or any of that. That's already happened. The time to do things is now. And we know that, and I think that the rate of the expansion of this group and the things that we're able to do is just very indicative of that. And so on that same note, just talking about the new members who are just jumping in and just taking control, I just want to say thank you to all of the members who've decided to step up and become the heads of all our committees. Now that we have the head for our tiny home committee, now we have the heads of all 5 of our committees. We are just ready to go, and this was after one main Ubuntu meeting attendance. Someone raised their hand and they said, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to step up and be the head of the tiny home committees. So we are all firing on every single cylinder right now. We are just ready to go, and I just wanted to tell you guys that our main meetings are very well attended. I mean, we have, as you guys seen, we have almost the entire space, and we have a pretty big space here, and it's almost full. And just as a testament to what we're able to do in Ubuntu, all I did was kind of talk about that and kind of jokingly say, hey, we might need a bigger space. And some very exciting things that's been coming down the pipeline is people are contacting me and they're saying, hey, we see what you're doing. We really resonate with what you're trying to do for yourselves and the community. I have this space. We just renovated our space. We put $150,000 into this space, and we'd like you to come use it and come share your message. And after we speak to our congregation, maybe you can talk, and you and your partner can talk about what you guys have going on, and you can start holding events here. And this just keeps happening. All of the synergy that we're able to create. And it's just amazing, and it's really fantastic. I'm just so happy that we're all a part of this. And on those notes, I wanted to go ahead and talk about sort of the purpose of the group and what I had in mind whenever we decided to start the Facebook group, and that was really to have a hub or sort of a central place where everybody who's local and everybody who's able or has expressed interest in contributing and also receiving the benefits from the group, which is what Ubuntu is all about, and just as a place for us to all be able to congregate electronically, sort of, and a place where we can kind of keep track of who's involved and where we can talk about all of the different events and things that we have going on here. So we had our first events and festivals committee just last night, and I just want to talk about how the amazing things that we're able to create with just a few people. Just a few people show up to these meetings, and whenever we start getting ideas and whenever we start rolling with it and start sharing and start looking at the crossover and what we can do together, I mean, the things that we're able to just create just from these little small groups is absolutely incredible. And so I want to thank everyone who comes to the larger meetings, to the main general meetings, because that is where we can figure out what we need to do and where we can create all of the synergy and where we can see how we can all come together as a unit and spread the encouragement and the joy and the laughter and the food and everything that we do. But I also wanted to encourage you all to try and get involved with the committees and the committee meetings, because that's where all the benefit is going to take place, and that's where all the action and the doing is going to take place. And that's the key issue that's near and dear to my heart, because there's a lot of movements out there where we're all talking about great things, and that's good, that's very important. But my thing is, I want to start living in this community right now. I don't want to have to wait for everything. I don't want to start talking about everything and just have it be ideas. And I think that everybody that comes to the gatherings resonates with that, because we understand that we're sick of the current socioeconomic platform that we've been presented with, or more so that's been shoved down our throats. We're ready to take action, and we're ready to start living one small gathering in Ubuntu and contributionism right now. So what we've decided to do, and one of the things that we came up with in the committee meeting last night, was apart from the group, we have the group where we have everybody that's local, and we have all of our events, and we create a lot of synergy, and it's amazing. But one thing that was expressed is that whenever we are talking to people outside of Ubuntu who don't necessarily know about the amazing things that we're doing inside, we want to have a tool that we can share with the outside world too, even people that aren't local. And so what we are going to do is we're going to create a page. And this is going to be a public page so that we can invite everybody that we want to, and everybody that's resonant, anybody that we want to share with. And it's going to be completely transparent too. The group is completely transparent as well. A lot of the things that we share inside of the group, we share on our main pages, on our personal pages too. Nothing is going to be a secret. Nothing is going to be covert. It's a big part of Ubuntu and contributionism that we just be completely see-through. We want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what we're doing. And so one of the things that's near and dear to my heart, and is my probably main plan of action of what we want to do, is we want to start interviewing all of you. We want to start talking about our passions. We want to start talking about where we were before Ubuntu, what it's doing in our lives right now, and what it looks like from an inside perspective. What's going on inside the Ubuntu group in the One Small Gathering. You see, and we all want to start talking about, so start thinking about, we're gonna make a schedule, and we're gonna invite all of you to come over, and we can do in small groups or one-on-one. Lauren and I are going to start interviewing all of the members in Ubuntu, so we can start identifying what it is that's attracted us here, and what it is that we're able to create, and how our lives have been enhanced, and how we've been able to liberate ourselves just from being at these One Small Gathering events. And so I've started to reach out to some of the producers and some of the filmmakers and some of the people who are passionate about what we're doing, and that's exactly what we're going to start doing. So I want you to all to start, please be thinking about what you want to say, and how Ubuntu has helped you. What's been your challenges? What's been the driving thing that has made you to start to come alive, and why you continue to come back in Ubuntu. And so just to kind of introduce myself and why I became involved with Ubuntu and contributionism. See, whenever I found Michael Tellinger and his work, I was in Compton, California, right outside Los Angeles. And I mean, from a young age, I've been able to see and recognize that something was wrong. Like, I didn't understand inflation. I didn't understand how things continued to cost more and more, and why wages seem to stay the same or increase by an incomparable amount. And I just started to realize that everything that we need and everything that we want to do or to utilize on this earth, we have to pay for. And it didn't really make sense to me. It didn't really add up. And I started wondering things like, who are we actually paying? Why is it that certain people have ownership of this particular space or resource, and everybody else has to pay them? more and more exceeding amounts. And why is it so such an uneven exchange? Why do I have to be at work at a certain time, but they can release me anytime they want to? I have to go through this grueling process to fight for these scraps and slave wages they're going to give me, but at any time that they feel like it, they're just going to let me go and just say, bon voyage and bonsoir and, good luck dealing with everything that's going on out there. And it really bothered me, and it really didn't make a lot of sense. And I found myself wondering one time, or a few times whenever I was in Compton, like, what is this? What is this that's going on? I started to integrate the phrase that we say in Ubuntu that money does nothing and people do everything. I started waking up to the fact that all of this stuff that we have to pay for and that aren't available to us if we don't have the sufficient amount of funds in our bank account that's decided by a certain few group of people, then we're not able to take place in these events and activities and goods that are created and that are here in abundance for all of us. And I started to think about the things that were holding me back. I mean, I was like, I think that I'm a pretty well-spoken and educated person, and I have a pretty good head on my shoulders. I don't understand what's holding me back. I don't understand why this certain particular person gets to live his dreams and my dreams, and I don't, because I don't have this thing called money. And so I started doing a little bit of research, and I started seeing things like the Venus Project and Jacques Fresco and some of the things that he's been doing, amazing social planning and inventions, futuristic inventions that he had been talking about. And I thought that those things were amazing. I still do. But I continued to do research, and I found Michael Tellinger, and I found Ubuntu and contributionism. And whenever I started listening to him and about his real-life practical plan to utilize the tools of enslavement against the powers that be and use it as part of our liberation, and operating and understanding that we are operating in the constraints of a capitalist society, and that we are going to have to move through that systematically to get to a world where everything is free to all of us, and we are all free of the shackles of capitalism, and we are able to take part in our own liberation and live and expand freely. You see, the idea of contributionism is that we all contribute 3 hours of our time to a week, 3 hours a week, towards the community, towards whatever, towards building, towards feeding us, towards educating us. And we understand that we get out exactly what we put in. It's not like this current capitalist system where we work for 40 hours and then get these little scraps and hope that the powers that be give us enough freedom or whatever, and leaving it in the hands of somebody else, waiting for a politician, somebody to come and liberate us and free us. And see, we realize that from an Ubuntu, from inside a contributionism model, whatever we contribute in is what we get out. And in fact, we get out much more than what we put in. We understand that this is a universe of abundance, and there is no limit, there is no lack of anything. We can create 3 times as much, easily, at least 3 times as much of everything that we need with just contributing 3 hours of our time per week. So if we can start thinking about what it is that Ubuntu means to you, and why it is that you keep coming back to Ubuntu, and why we're inviting our friends, and why we're sharing this movement and this concept with everyone, that would be a great start and a great continuation of where we were and where we are now and where we're going, which the sky is the limit. We can do anything that we want to. Anything that we can think about, we can bring about. And that's a really important concept to the Ubuntu higher consciousness liberation movement. So just a quick update for now. We're going to be doing several more of these, and you're going to be seeing from a lot more of the members of Ubuntu and the committee heads, and we're going to be talking a lot about the exciting things that we are not just planning but actually doing. So stay tuned to our Facebook group, Ubuntu Kansas City. Check back my website, DMikeReed.com, and we have our meetup group by the same name, Ubuntu Kansas City. But please, we funnel everything into the Facebook group Ubuntu Kansas City. So check that out and be active in there. Send comments and start talking about our ideas. And I just once again want to really encourage everyone to check the events calendar in that group, in that Facebook group, so you can start coming to the committee meetings. That's where you're going to start contributing your 3 hours per week. That's where you're going to actually start making things happen. That's when you're going to start receiving the benefits that the entire group is creating, all of the food, all of the events. And also, just one quick thing is I wanted to talk about, we're going to start, there's chiropractors. Every time that we invite new members, every time that we are blessed with a new member into the group, we're blessed with a new passion, with a new skill set, with a new knowledge base, just with new energy that we all get to share in. And the committee groups is where this is all actually going to go down. So get into whether it's events and festivals, where it's the family activities, whether it's the food and gardening, whether it's the volunteering, whether it's the tiny home committee. We have heads for all of those groups now, and they're all posted in the Facebook group. So and message us if you want to share your passion, if you want to share your skill. We'll allot you some time during one of our general meetings so that you can talk to everybody about what it is that you're passionate about and what it is that you're bringing to the table as your labor of love. And because this isn't a job, this is just you doing whatever it is that you're passionate about. And so contact either me or Katie, and we will get you on the schedule, and you can share your passion. Or if you like to, you can let us know, and we will share it for you. So definitely contact us, email us. If you have our card and our number and all the information, definitely contact us, get on the schedule, come to the committee meetings, because that's where all the magic happens. So once again, I'm DMike the Young Mystic here at the Soul Ascension Estate, and I just want to wish you love, light, and peace profound in unity. Namaste.